Okay, his commission, what? Go ahead. Okay, his commission is noted in Acts 9, Paul's, and it is a duty which he faithfully executed in order to fulfill the word of God. He was apostle to the Gentiles, and he is fulfilling the word of God toward the Gentiles. Peter was the apostle to the Jews, the circumcision, and he was fulfilling his duties to the word of God to the Jewish people. It's the same word of God, okay? The nation of Israel takes on a different meaning because God promised them different things. He promised that they would be the nation in charge of the world someday, or at the head of the nations, as I believe how it's termed. Anyway, and so he's not going to let that go unfulfilled. That was all that was going on in the stream of time. He's making promises to them if they'll simply believe and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean that those promises are now abrogated because Christ came and they rejected him. It means that they rejected him and they've got to be brought back into the picture, all seen in these sermons right here. Okay, the Greek here, indicates to fill up the word of God. Paul said to fulfill the word of God, or the translation did. The Greek says to fill up the word of God. His duties as a minister of God was to teach and to make fully known the word of God to the Gentile world. The salvation, instruction, and growth of the Gentile-led church is the object of his calling and ministry. That's all there is to it. His object is the Gentiles. Peter's object was the Jews. That doesn't mean Peter, we're in Acts 10 right now. Who is the subject of Acts 10? Cornelius. And who is it that evangelizes Peter? Evangelizes Cornelius. Peter, right, yeah, okay. So Peter is telling them about it. And he talked to other Gentiles as well. And Paul talked to Jews. First thing, every time, when he went to a new town, even if it's a Gentile area, he went to the synagogue first. He's given the same message. It's just that the Jews kept rejecting it, okay? There's a reason why Acts is written in the structure it's written. Go ahead.
Acts 20:27.
Acts 20:27. Let me see what it says there, because I'm just not cluing into Acts 20:27. Bert can do that. I can't. I have to actually, numbers mean less to me, although I never forget a phone number or a social security number. I still remember the social security number of my commander from the 475th Services Squadron 35 years later, okay? At 2720 or 2027, okay? So it upsets this person that when she calls or I call her, the first thing I say is I just spout off the top of my head the social security number, and it's like, would you stop that? Okay, 2027. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, I'm getting there. For I have not shunned to declare to you the whole counsel of God.
That's the Ephesians. He's writing to the Ephesians.
Absolutely.
He said,
So
mine says I didn't shrink from
I
doing
didn't
this.
shrink. Shun, shrink. He didn't SH one way or another. He didn't shun or shrink from
He
telling
says,
them the
"I
whole
fully
counsel.
In this verse it says fully carried out
Right.
the preaching of the gospel.
Fully carried out. And that's what he's saying right here. So
That's what it is.
it's a perfect connection to that. That's what he says. Okay, so to fill up the word of God. Okay, I'll read this again. The salvation, instruction, and growth of the Gentile-led church is the object of Paul's calling and ministry, as it said in Acts 20:27. Further, in his actions, he is also filling up the word of God in the sense that this was prophesied in the Hebrew scriptures. The Gentiles would come to God through the work of Christ. The Jews just didn't acknowledge that, but it's as clear as it can be in the book of Isaiah. It is so clear, I don't know how they couldn't have gotten it. But there it is, right there in the book of Isaiah. It says it like 3 times, okay? I will make you, speaking of somebody, a light to the Gentiles, etc., okay? It's too small of a thing to bring back the redeemed of Israel. That verse, what is it, 65 something? Anyway, the Gentiles would come to God through the work of Christ. And Paul's efforts are what was now accomplishing that. Those efforts continue on to this day as his letters set the authoritative standard for this dispensation. Okay, good stuff. I think it was in the 40s, not 65. I will make you a light to the Gentiles. Anyway, it's in Isaiah 40 something. I don't know. Anyway, and it says it like 3 or 4 times in different ways.